Well, I came down the plot yesterday and did a fair bit of work. Unfortunately, the battery on my camera wasn't very well charged, so it refused to take any video. Here's what's happening in the greenhouse. This is all newly planted stuff yesterday. For a change, I've done a few flowers, and the same again on that side. Over here I've done a few more lettuce and tomatoes, just starting to see signs of life on the surface there. Some more radishes which are in there. My beetroot are coming up, so if we go in a bit closer you get to see them. Over here we've got swede and we've got broccoli. The swede is well underway. Broccoli's just starting to show now. In fact, I can only see three in the tray. So the broccoli's starting. Right, sweet corn is just breaking surface here. And here. So that's coming along. The sweet corn I'm growing this year is Swift, and here I've got my peas, Sugar Snap. So far 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of a possible 5, 4, 20, so nearly halfway. Over there we've got some sunflowers coming up. These are the big yellow. There's a couple here, and we've got some activity coming up on the nasturtiums. Over here we've got a great deal of activity on my what do you call it, brassicas. Yeah. And down here we've got some lettuces, cucumbers, more cucumbers, white melons and red melons. Nothing happening. Oh, hang on, cucumber coming up there. 2 cucumbers coming up there, and some little gems coming up here. Right, these only went in yesterday. Tomatoes, Roma, and I can see what this label says. These are money maker. Right, so that soil is very dry, so I'm going to give it a good soaking in a minute. In fact, I did give it a soaking this morning, but obviously insufficient. But anyway, that's what I was doing indoors. And outdoors, as you might be able to see, Marley's guarding my potatoes. I got 7 buckets each of Sarpomira. That's the first row on the right hand side from here, and 7 buckets of shallots. Now in the Sarpos, they're quite small seed potatoes for these ones. I've put 4 to a bucket in a cross shape, and I put the shallots 3 to a bucket triangular. Now where I've done the 4 to a bucket, I've done them on different layers. So I've done 2 across, and then put some more soil in, and then 2 in the opposite direction, so we've got across. I'm using, what do you call it, chicken pellets at the moment, waiting to sort out some manure which I'll be using on the rest of my crops. Today I'm going to be digging over there and planting some Sarpomira in the ground. Again, I'm using chicken pellets for lack of horse manure. I'm just going to put a couple of rows in to break up that soil there where I had the fire, and then I've got to start attacking that lot and clear. It may not be very obvious at the moment, but I've already sorted where my first raised bed is. I've put the wood in along the side there, and that accounts for about just over a third, including the path, of the available space. So I'll be doing another board in here, then a raised bed, then another board and another raised bed. so that'll keep me busy for a little while. Right, time to go and get some water and deal with these tomatoes, because otherwise they're just going to fry. But we'll be back later and get some more video. Oh, since my last little clip, I've planted some carrots in buckets. I did this last year with a bit of sand and sieved compost, and I got about £2 to £3 per bucket. These are 12-inch tubs, the ones they use in supermarkets when they're selling cut flowers. Tubs cost me nothing, just drill a few holes in the bottom and top it up with sand and compost. And in here, I've been round and watered it twice in the greenhouse today because it's quite warm. I've got here some French climbing beans. These are Blue Lake. I've used some toilet rolls to do a few, and the seed trainers, which I'm afraid I'm not overly impressed with. These are ones I bought last year and they've really gone very flimsy and brittle, so I won't be getting those again. I'll stick to the toilet tubes or toilet roll tubes, and that will keep me happy. And as I say, everything in here has had a good watering today. Having said that, some of the stuff is looking very dry again. I would say it's probably about 22 degrees in the greenhouse today. It's not as hot as it's been over the last few days, but my beetroot has certainly taken off, even since I did a bit of filming earlier. There's more. Same with the sweet corn. I've actually got another one popping its head out there, so the heat in the shed is obviously, in the greenhouse, is obviously doing them all a favour. And more sunflowers poking their heads through. I wasn't very lucky with my sunflowers last year. As quick as they emerged, the slugs took their heads out, so I didn't have a single flower. But I'm hoping for a little bit more success this year. There we go, that's all in the greenhouse at the moment, and I should give that another spray before I go home tonight, because it certainly definitely needs it. Right, next task, that little space I've cleared over there, I'm going to dig a row for some potatoes. I'm going to plant Sarpomira there because they are pretty good at disease and blight resistance. Possibly 2 rows, see how it goes. Back later. Today's objective is to dig enough here to put a couple of rows of spuds in. This is where the fire was, so I'll dig that in and make use of the ash as a kind of ground fertiliser. But I'll fast forward this so you don't have to sit and watch me for the next half hour or 3/4 hour. My patient servant. Molly, hello. Who's a good boy? Right, back to work. So let's swivel the camera around and get behind it. Ah, here we go. Right, as you can see, I've dug a fair bit of this afternoon. There we go. There we go. Right, just finish off that row I'm on, and then it's time to go home. Let's zoom out.